everybody. I'm B Bacon. This is my room. Yay! Let's dig up some buried treasure. Now, before I get started on this review, I wanted to say, first of all, Happy Easter, Happy Jesus Day, Happy Death of Jesus Day, Happy Dead Jesus Day, Happy, what else is there to offend people? Oh, Happy Nailed on the lowercase t Jew Day. Now, this movie, the thing I'm going to talk about, is one that I've been waiting to do for a long time because it really qualifies for buried treasure. It's one no one from my generation has heard about. I'm one of the few kids that have seen this movie, or at least in my group of friends have seen this film, and I'm so excited to talk about it because I couldn't think of a perfect day to talk about it than on Easter. The film is Watership Down. If you don't know what Watership Down is, we'll take a brief look at the history. First off, Watership Down started as a novel by critically acclaimed writer Richard Adams. The book was a huge success and was Penguin Books' best-selling novel of all time. Yes, I know this is Wikipedia, but guys, times have changed. Wikipedia is now reliable, and there's the sources at the bottom of the page. I know in some articles people tend to write stupid stuff, but that stuff is immediately deleted, and I think people need to give Wikipedia a second chance. Plus, this isn't anything I'm trying to prove scientifically or politically, so I believe these sources are reliable. So anyway, Watership Down started out as a book in 1972, but it became so successful that not Hollywood, but an animated British studio decided to make it into a film. So, Watership Down was released by, what's that animated group called? If anyone can pronounce these names, I'd really appreciate it because, okay, Avco Embassy Pictures and The Production, or Napathy. Sorry, I mean, come on. Why would you name your company something like that? But anyway, they were the productions who made the film adaptation of Watership Down. And let me tell you, it's a film that you have to see to believe. One of the greatest animated films of all time, in my opinion, in terms of both animation and storytelling. Plus, I really like the theatrical poster, too. It looks epic as hell. So, this film was very successful in Britain, but not so much in the USA. Although it's critically acclaimed all around, it's not too successful in the USA. The book has been read by lots of people and does very well, but the movie, however, not a lot of people know of. So you're probably wondering, why are you talking about this movie? I mean, yes, your show is buried treasure, but where did you discover this movie? How did it come to your attention? Well, to be honest, it was through another movie. Does anyone remember Donnie Darko in the scene in the classroom where they're watching the movie? Yeah, they're actually watching Watership Down. That's where I discovered the movie. Now, let me just say, Donnie Darko is one of the greatest films I've ever seen in my life. It is better than Watership Down, but it helped me discover Watership Down. So, I wanted to talk about Watership Down, because a lot of people still know about Donnie Darko. I mean, come on. Most, at least in our generation, and by my generation, I mean the ages between 18 and 24, we all know about Donnie Darko, and we think it's the greatest film ever made. I mean, I don't think it's a brilliant movie, better than half the shit that's come out this decade, excluding the Lord of the Rings trilogies. Those are the best movies. But the point is that that's where I discovered Watership Down, and I immediately wanted to see the movie. Now, I know what you're thinking, all you smarties. You should read the book first. Well, come on. What century is this? The 21st century. Do I have time to read the book? No, I don't. If it's not a graphic novel, I'm not reading it, because I don't have time. If I want a good story, I gotta see a good movie. So, I'm gonna watch the adaptation, and what I know, the film adaptation of Watership Down was pretty dang close to the book. So, I'm going to show you some clips from the film, and I'm going to tell you what's great about this movie using Aristotle's 6 important things about theater. Now, you can use the same thing for movies because it applies the same way for movies. Because, to be honest, besides the camera and the audience, film and theater are almost the same in a way. I mean, I know there's a lot of differences between movie and theater, but they're almost exactly the same. So the film starts off introducing a sort of mythology. As their god Thrith created a bunch of animals, and the rabbit, being the most trickiest, seemed to cause the most trouble. in response to this, Thrift, their god, made the rabbit the enemy of all the other animals. So that's how the story's mythology sort of, begins. The rabbits eat everything, the other animals get sort of pissed off, and then everyone wants to kill the rabbits, and so the rabbits are a cursed race in a way. It's actually pretty interesting and really cool how they created their own mythology for animals without mentioning like a god. Well, there is a god, but not like the god that I'm being pursued to worship every day of my existence. Sorry, but Americans are really stupid. So the rabbit acts cocky, the god gets mad, curses the race, and all rabbits are fucked. That's pretty much the basic plot of it. But it's actually really cool how it all ties in, because this is just according to the rabbits, not according to any other race. So the rabbits believe they are cursed because they are the most hunted by dogs and cats and fucking pigeons and turtle rats. I don't know what the hell that thing is. But overall, it's a really interesting plot. And again, I'm sorry I didn't say this, but I'm sorry for the really cheesy videography, but I don't know how to download movies and use them without getting copyright problems. So whoever download this, the film onto YouTube, what's your name? Black Rose 20X, I think. Thank you for downloading this movie because I really liked it. But yeah, this is the kind of footage you're going to see for a while. Just me kind of pointing the camera at the YouTube channel. Again, I'm sorry, but, come on, people. I'm not a computer genius. I'm just a guy who wants to do movie reviews. So, the plot's pretty simple. That's the beginning story. So let's get to the main plot in a bit. The main plot is that there's a group of rabbits in an English countryside that are being killed and, by all the other races, and something's going on with the land they live in. So it's up to the rabbits to go from one place to the other. And you're wondering why the movie's called Watership Down, because where they're trying to reach is a place called Watership Down. Yeah, it's a bit lame, but it's a pretty interesting plot despite the creepy animation and how these characters are not treated like goofy, comic relief, funny bunnies. They're actually treated like serious individuals. It's pretty interesting. I mean, look at these images. It's haunting. It's scary as hell. So the plot's actually very interesting, and it's just about how they have to escape and make it to a land where there's not a bunch of bad things that are happening. Again, sorry about the cheesy videography once again, but, you gotta deal with what you gotta deal with. The next important thing to talk about are the characters. Now, I'm really sorry, but I kind of forgot all the characters' names. I know I should have done a little more research before I did the video, but it is hard to remember all this shit. But the characters' names aren't really important. You just gotta remember there's Fat Bunny, Paranoid Bunny, Skinny Bunny, there's the bird character. But to be honest, all these characters are very... well, most of them are kind of the same, but there's a couple unique characters. They're all really interesting and all have different motives in the play. One character's motive is to get to the land, another one is to escape his paranoia, another one is to find a mate, this one I'm pointing at right now, is to make all the rabbits live in a dictatorship-like state. All the rabbits have different motives, but they all are trying to do the same thing, get away from animals that are trying to hunt them. And, of course, all of them are fucking weird as hell. All of them kill each other. There's blood in this. It's actually pretty surprising. But the characters are pretty cool. The bird character that you probably saw a couple clips ago is supposed to be a comic relief character, but he's not that funny. He's got a bit annoying. The characters are pretty okay, but the plot is actually a lot better. There's not too many memorable characters, but it's the plot that makes this one really good. Alright, so next thing is the theme of this story. Now, to tell the theme of this story is very weird because it's hard to determine what the theme is. I'm suggesting the theme is adventure, but someone said it has something to do with communism, but I don't think rabbits know the practice of communism because they're fucking rabbits. But I'm assuming that this is all just about adventure and escaping yourself. In a way, escaping where you grew up from, escaping from the terror that's about to come. And to be honest, if this was made in a modern day setting, people could say the rabbits are supposed to parallel global warming because they're trying to escape from the land that they're from before it gets destroyed. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it could be. But for a normal person like me who doesn't dig deep in the stories when they're simply written as they are, I saw this as rabbits escaping from their land, which is pretty much an adventure, and it's an epic too. It's a really good theme to teach children. However, I wouldn't suggest this for young children because it's very creepy and might be terrifying for them. The next important thing about any player, movie, or theater, or whatever, is the diction, the dialogue between characters. Now, this, surprisingly for a movie about animated rabbits going on an adventure, there's a lot of dark and interesting speeches, and of course, rich dialogue. Now, what I'm showing you isn't one of the best scenes of dialogue, but it's a pretty decent one, so I want you guys to check this out.
Men have always hated us.
No. They just destroyed the Warren because we were in their way.
They'll never rest until they've spoiled the earth.
I tried to find you. I wandered for days. The Everfans wouldn't let me go. They ripped my ear. Ripped it. I tried to find you.
Everfans? What's he talking about? Polly? Let him be. He's had a bad time. Tell us about it when he's rested.
Okay, now that was pretty cool. Just that little scene, and that's not what I consider the best form of dialogue. And it was actually pretty interesting to hear rabbits almost talk like people. See, this is what these movies should be. They shouldn't be about what the cute cuddly ones say now. Ooba booba. No, it should be serious dialogue portrayed by these animals, because these are things you can take seriously and to heart. You know, this was before the word furry was invented, so people used to take animals as serious people before the internet fucked everything up. So, I really like that scene, and I really like a lot of the scenes in this movie because they portray mature human dialogue. And they're British. Oh, and if you're wondering, one of the rabbits, he's voiced by the same guy who did the voice of Aragorn from the Lord of the Rings movie, the Bakshi one, not obviously the Peter Jackson one, but the animated one by Ralph Bakshi. That's actually just another form of trivia I know. The next thing to talk about is the music, and what can you say? It's one of the best scores for a movie. I don't know the actual composer or really any of the actual numbers they play, but it's really well done. But I think this movie is most famous for its song Bright Eyes by Art Garfunkel, used in this beautiful sequence. And again, I apologize for the bad videography, but just watch. This is breathtakingly beautiful. See, what's lovely about this music is it has that innocence of adventure, but that wonder of danger. I don't know what that really means, but it's pretty cool. See, it's just amazing how the music flows well with the visuals. It's just epically astounding. One of the best I've seen in any animated feature. Especially a song like Bright Eyes by Art Garfunkel make this segment so amazing and beautiful. I can't think of a better movie that has an animated segment like this. Well, besides everything in Fantasia and Fantasia 2000, but that's not the point. The point is that this is an amazing segment using a pop song. The best I've ever seen in a film. Like I said before, in the whole beginning of this review, the visuals for this are astounding. They are just amazingly great. I can't help it, but I just love this animation style. It doesn't go for the cheesy kind of campy one. It goes for a realistic and very somewhat dark style of animation. Now, I'm not saying dark as in Nightmare Before Christmas dark, but it's really good. And there's blood in this too. You wouldn't expect this. You wouldn't expect blood from like a movie about rabbits. I mean, look at these. These guys get mauled in half. This is disgusting. I can't even believe it. There's torture in this. It's just over-the-top greatness. I can't believe that this film was even made during the 1970s. Well, then again, coonskin and heavy traffic were, but that's not the point. The point is that this is amazingly fantastic. The animation just looks astounding. I can't believe that this film was made because it's so great. I'm sorry to go on and on, but this is just terrific visuals. However, visuals are the last thing that's important about a film. But It's not only the visuals that make this film amazing, but it's also the wonder and pure imagination, great storytelling, pretty decent characters, but an awesome theme and diction that make this film one of the best in its genre. Well, I hope you found this video informative. Now, if you're looking for a copy of Watership Down, good luck. But you can go on YouTube and find that Black Rose X20 account that I did and watch the whole movie for free. I mean, I hope I don't get in trouble for promoting that, but it's a good way to watch a very enjoyable movie. My rating out of 5, 4 out of 5. It's pretty good, but the only thing I'd have to say, the characters are a bit bland. That's my only complaint about this. But otherwise, it's a fantastic movie. I cannot recommend it more than I am right now. It's just amazing that this movie was made because it's very graphic for a children's movie. But I don't even consider this a children's movie. In fact, I wouldn't recommend it for kids. I'd recommend it for teenagers and above because I think more teenagers will get this movie than children will because of its, its great language and its dark undertone to it. So I honestly would not recommend this for children. I would recommend it for teenagers and above, especially adults who are looking for a great animated film. And I'd say this is probably one of my top 10 favorite animated films of all time. It's terrific, especially since it's a film not done by Disney or Bluth or Bakshi or DreamWorks or all those other fucking studios. It's done by an unknown animated studio from Great Britain. I mean, that's pretty cool. So, that's all I gotta say about Watership Down. It's a great film and it really represents buried treasure. Not much else to say except, I guess I'll see you guys next time. I'm B-Bacon. Well, this is my room.